Good morning. We are back live. I'm going to take a quick look at some experiments. Not these ones. Just a very quick look at the last results of these experiments, and then I think we're going to work on some docs. Maybe we'll work on a sample project. That'll be better. We'll work on the sample project for the demo, or the new API, like to demo the new API. It'll be good. Okay, so this is what we got out of sweeps. This is not amazing. So breakout did like pretty well, but not amazing. But then if we look at the mazes, mazes did very, very well. This is pretty much good enough to start iterating on though. So I think what we'll do is we'll spend a bit of time right now on the sample project. And then we will go from there. And I actually would like to do, let me see. Can I get rendering to work in this? Failed to load GLX. Well, that's annoying. And it like crashes totally, doesn't it? Okay, so I will not use the new container. We will fix the new container later. Buffer tank. And hopefully this should give us the old container. I don't know what is wrong with unknown or invalid runtime name NVIDIA. This should not be on NVIDIA runtime. Gotta love having to debug stupid shit when I just want to get my stuff done. Well, technically, we don't have to be able to render it to do the sample project, because I don't want to deal with this right now. I want to do the sample project, and then I want to do this later in the day. Maybe we'll just do it that way instead. We'll go back to this container. This is the new 5070 CUDA 12.8 container. So what we're going to do with this let me take a look at pi squared. Logic is in here. I'm trying to think if I want to make this like an even simpler thing, you know? There's no need for me to like make like a new type of game or something as the demo project. So I guess the only question is, do I turn squared into the sample project? I've got 4 very nice yellow Orioles on the feeder right outside. Do I make squared the sample project, or do I make like some dummy test env as the sample? I think that is the main question. The only thing that bothers me with squared is it's not multi-agent, right? So like, can I think of like some really basic env that would be more representative? Like, I could just make like a go to target type env, right? Continuous. Do I still have the code for that that old like I don't have like the old continuous env, right? I guess I could make one really quick, and that would be kind of fun, and it would actually be like moderately useful even. So let's do that. Now, it'll support single and multi-agent, discrete and continuous, and then the question will be, what else should I do with it? Should I have like a pure Python version or no? I guess I technically, let's do the C version first and then we'll see. Well, then what do I have squared for, actually, if we're doing that? That's still a useful sanity test. I kind of just want a new, like, little toy env to do stuff with. What's wrong with this? There we go. We get rid of the Scython. No longer doing Scython. This is getting a map size. As a basic binding. Get like I should probably make the Envinet work at some point with this, but we can do Oh, you know what we'll do is we'll make this one. Well, instead of calling this just example, we'll call this target. So we'll have two different levels of examples. That'll be easier. Yeah, that makes way more sense than what I was thinking of earlier. All right, cool. So now we have this one. Would like my autocomplete to frickin' work. I don't know why it doesn't. Okay. Now we have all these logs. And we go to the .h file. And then this will be target. We'll probably just clean up both of these. Yeah. Okay, so now we have allocations. It's going to be a pain without being able to render this. But we will get the initial bits of it done. So this has, what is it, size, agents, targets. Y. And then this can be like something like that. Observations. They're just going to see do we want to make them be able to see the other agents? And then the actions are going to be The actions are going to be floats. And honestly, these can go into the C demo file, right? Like if I just take these, can go here. Okay, so this log function actually does not need to exist. I think what we will do, we'll kind of shuffle some things. We'll shuffle some things around. So on reset, no need to memset the obs to 0. So we'll just do rand %size. Like this. And we'll do, was it n? This should be entities actually. Or agent. I guess this should be agent. And then we do compute observations. Okay, so for step, we do x, y. Do we give them a heading? Oh, I just realized that I don't have the chat up on my screen. My bad. Hey, Captain. Let me explain things briefly. Ban this bot. Thank you, bot, for popping something up in the corner of my vision, so I actually can grab my chat. Inspect, fix the background so I can actually see it. Hello. So, this is just a sample env, Captain. I'm just copy pasting squared, and I'm making, the goal is to have two sample envs, right? We'll have squared be the ultra basic one, which I'm gonna refactor a little bit with, the current stuff I know now, how to like make it really simple. And then we're gonna have a multi-agent, continuous one. So we'll have a multi-agent continuous one as well that also has very simple dynamics and very little code, but you get to see that portion as well. So we'll have two sample M's, and then basically they'll be nicely commented, and this will be how you write your own M's, and pretty much anything you need to do should be in here. That's the goal. Grab myself coffee. Plan dynamics, you'll see it's not going to take me very long at all to write. 1 second. A little bit of exercise in. I may as well tell you, since it's going to take a minute before I can bend my fingers again. So I'm just going to make a very simple target env where you got a bunch of puffers, you got a bunch of targets, and the puffers have to get to the targets. That's it. Really simple. And then the env will reset, or the targets will reset to new positions, but the envs never will. Need a minute before my fingers will bend again. Like, eh. All right. I literally didn't consider. The bad exercise to be doing on stream. Can't freaking type for a second. The Okay, now this is compute observations, and first step, the actions are going to be and just make it heading. Or steering, I guess. We do float heading. Loop over num agents. And then we do memset do I not have a memset in here? How was I doing it in any of these M's? Okay. And this is kind of all we need to set, I believe. We could technically set the terminal, but I don't think there's a need to. So I think we just zero the reward like this. And then we do float env actions I. And we can literally just apply this thing, right? So we just do, oh, we also need the agent. I don't know why my autocomplete isn't working. Didn't get sweep working. Can I change downsampling size from 10 to 5? I've actually, it's funny that you said that because that's one of the experiments I've been meaning to run. Why do you want to do that in particular? Is it because the recommendations start taking a while after a bunch of runs, or what? Let me take a look at your results. Crashes on third sweep attempt. Can't reshape. How do you only get that few points? If you're only getting 7 or 8 like points, that means that like that's the number of logs you're getting back from the end. So yeah, you can downsample. Each episode is 2K. It doesn't matter each episode. So the way that the downsampling works is it collects logs from the whole of training. So that means you're only getting 7 or 8 logs during the entirety of training. Which doesn't seem right for 200 mil steps. Let me see this result. Oh, very nice. Good job, man. That looks like you should run it for longer, doesn't it? Like, it looks like you cut the run off too short. It was going up very, very steeply. Is it an issue with log interval? I don't know. I'd have to look at the bug specifically. You can hack it for now. But, the way that this works... Okay, so look at this. So this gets back logs from the env, and it tries to downsample them. Well, where does this come from? All logs. It comes from right here. So literally, this just gives you the logs that come back from training. So my guess would be that you're probably just logging very infrequently, which I think I can confirm that if I look at your graph real quick again. I can show this graph, right? There's no problem with that. You don't really have a ton of points on here, you see? Like, each of these clicks is a point. You don't have that many points on here. So that's probably what's going wrong. You just have very small amounts of logs. Either issue with log interval or just the fact that if the episodes are very long, you just don't get very many logs back. Split amongst many copies. Could be. That happens with, like, Pong, for instance. In that case, you can just, like... You can mess with the interval. I mean, sweeps kind of does depend on having those sample points in order to, like, make a good estimate, but you can totally just mess with it for now. You can also literally just take that run that you sent me and run it for longer, because it was still going up. So that's what I would suggest doing. And we can chat on that later today for sure. I just want to get this sample env done while I'm fresh, because people have been asking for sample M's. So what I'm doing now is we have squared as a single agent sample. I'm making a continuous multi-agent sample N. I'm going to clean up both of them quite a bit. And then, basically the env tutorial will be like, hey, walk through these repos, like, okay, open this file, notice that this and that, and so on and so forth. Want me to reach out to them to set a call? We'll run it for longer first just to see if it does even better, because it's very silly to give people a graph that's like going up very, very rapidly without having run it for longer. And then yes. You don't even necessarily need to say like, hey, let's talk about this. I think we just deliver those. I think we just deliver them the result, and then they will probably want to set a call. Yep. I generally think it is better to just ship results and then be available for meetings, like, just be available for meetings when people want them. One of the things I've done lately, you'll notice I don't have any, like, regularly scheduled meetings with you or Aaron or, like, anybody doing any stuff on this. It's like, it's just you chat when you want to chat, we chat, and I make myself pretty available. I literally have 0 recurring things on my calendar. Sample length, yes, exactly. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so that's the heading. And the actions can be clipped or whatever, right? And then we just do x equals post heading, something like this. X. We do the same thing for y. Okay, now we have our basic bounce check code. And now we have to do well, we also have to compute rewards, don't we? They have to go together, I think, in this end, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't even make sense to do. We can just do check targets. Targets and obs, right? Okay, so now we get rid of the squared dynamics. This is from the old sample code. None of this is relevant. And And there is nothing that's going to be in the close function. Start on the update targets function. Also replace where'd. Was it %s? Boom. All right, so now for this target finding logic, we need to go through for each agent. And now we need to loop for each target. We'll call this A, or was it? We'll do A and T so we don't mess up the index variables as easily. We'll take the agent here, and we'll do target star target. And then we will do dist equals. There's no need to do a circular check, right? I guess maybe it looks slightly better with a circular check. Target.x. Okay. And we also should probably make a velocity. Need to be equals. We just reset the target like this. Okay. And then we do n rewards OF. Okay. So we have got our distance less than 10. And actually what we can do, continue. And there we go. This is now our target checking. We should set this well, hang on. We have to update this one first. So this is the obs. Maybe we do have to run this in 2 passes. Maybe we do have to run this in 2 passes. Okay, so maybe there is actually going to be a cleaner way to split this stuff up. Let's get this code in place for now, so... So we give it dx and dy. And then we need obs index, I believe. So we do int obs idx. Observer. Okay, and then we need this exact same logic for agent obs. We get agents, we get our other T. Take this, and now this is other. Cool. So this is pretty gross. We can definitely make this code a lot cleaner. Pretty repetitive. But this is basically what we want. Yeah, this is like basically what we want. Now let's make sure that we actually got the observations correct. I believe we did. No, we definitely did. Now we have a reset. We've got step. We don't need a close. We need this function to exist, but that's about it. Target. It's a 60 FPS env. And then we do actually need the puffer for this. And let me just see how I draw the puffer texture here. I believe I do it like this. And then this is we need the heading. So it's actually got to be for okay, so we need to get heading equals agents I dot heading, and then it's if the thing is abs is less than, oh, what the heck is this? Int direction equals heading so it's like this. Okay, so now we do rectangle, what's this? Rectangle client xpad. No, we don't need this. This just gets drawn. We just need to know the puffer width and height, which I believe is just 64. So I think it's just let's just get agent. Okay, so this is the initial x, which should be agent.x minus 64. Agent.y minus 64. And 28. 28. Is overfitting a thing in RL? Like, can I memorize my data set? Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're doing RL on a thing that's just, like, not a real problem. Which is kind of what you're doing right now. It's not a thing when your environment is like some randomized thing where it's the actual goal task. When your environment is like some dummy toy thing that doesn't represent the actual task you care about, then it is a problem, right? There's no such thing as overfitting a breakout agent when your goal is to play breakout, because that's the actual thing you care about for that task, right? But the thing is that if we're overfit, so are they, so... XY radius color. Easy enough. So we just do X. Pitch. And I want to draw the puffers on top. We'll do this. Easy. Oops. So not even cleaned up or anything. We don't need any of this either. 184 lines. Can you reproduce one of my good runs locally? On latest dev with CPU only device having problems. Sure. I actually have to fix my new container to do that because I don't have rendering working on the new containers yet for some reason. But yes, I will do that. Well, number went higher. Well, the number should kind of go higher, right? I mean, what's the maximum amount of money you could make if you memorize that entire graph? Then the maximum amount of money you could make is equal to the sum of all the deltas in the graph, right? So that's the high end. If you just like sum up all the pointwise, like it's like abs of. It's not the integral because it's like the absolute value of it or whatever, but it's, you know, you get the idea. It's like integral of abs of del whatever. Some basic thing. This will have to do. Okay, so let's see if I can get this to compile. And then we're gonna have to fix some errors. What did I do here? Oh. Goal. Okay, I actually have to like, let me see if I can just do this. S/target goal G. Boom. Why do you look sad? No idea. I'm doing pretty good. Affected. I'm just missing semicolon somewhere dumb. It doesn't look like it. Ah. Yeah, so I totally messed up the indexing here. This is, make this G. Whoops. Ah, I see. Yeah, so we gotta be careful with this. This is, yep, this is a goal I renamed. Need math. Math.h. And do I care if this copies? I kind of do care if this copies, right? We'll do like this. But then because that looks jank, we'll put some spacing. Okay. And then what we'll do is this is now goal X. That's not bad. Cool. Requires pointer operand. Oh, this is Python, you dummy. You can't be writing Python in C. This is a plus. I should probably get like a basic LSP at some point. To be fair, I really don't spend much time in the scheme of things fixing small quirks. Most of the time is on other things. Okay, so this is agent. And then this needs to all be refactored to be G, because this is now goal. And then we have the exact same issues from before, basically. This is ampersand. Get the address. And then, other than that, we just do this and we're good. And how about here? Probably same thing. I don't know how I make that same basic mistake repeatedly. But it's also we would like to use. I also don't know why I have this way. Yeah, you don't need this 2.0 on any of this stuff. This is already going to be scaled negative 1 to 1. This gets simplified a little bit. Okay. And now, I don't need all these lines to do this either, now do I? Alright. And I did the exact same thing here. high. Initializing target. Alright, this is just I renamed this struct. Client puffer. And then we have num targets. We're in the C file now. Num goals now, it's not num targets. Target is not a pointer, yes. So this is now, these are just dots. We no longer need any of this stuff. When we get to that function. All right, so this is now, whoops, 86. Right, we did not allocate agents. So we need to make an init function for this thing. I believe this is all that needs to be allocated, yes. And then we do free. In here, this is the freeze. Free. All right, so we don't call init. Probably a good idea. Um, 78. All right, so possibly, do we have the wrong size observations? This seems fine to me. 2 times num agents plus num goals. Okay. Let me add that to the container before I forget. Have GDB on the container. Okay, so this doesn't immediately break either. Oh, is it in standard IO? Yeah, there it is. I forget where like basic library things are when I haven't written in a language for a while. Hmm. Yeah, so this is not printing anything. Probably because I don't have flush on it. There we go. We get to 128. And I believe that if I'm correct, the total obs index, it should be 8, isn't it 16 times 2? Oh, I just have this thing allocated wrong, don't I? I just have the thing allocated totally wrong. Cool, so now that actually works, and we just get to, this thing failing. Now, I thought that I had exported some stuff to make this work. DLFW. So let me commit this initial stuff. Wait, we can probably... Yeah, I'm not implementing this whole freaking env in pure Python. Screw that. What the hell? How is this ignored? That's really obnoxious. Okay, so that is synced. Now let's figure out why this container is broken. This was run with everything. Did I have that commented in the old puffer tank? Hang on, because I did install. There was a version of GLFW that I installed that could have broken some things potentially, right? Puffer depths. Hang on, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I just didn't add, right? Oh. That's literally it. You just need lib glfw3. Cool. Alright, and now we have our puffer env. Looks like this. Whoop. Okay. I've got 10-ish minutes before breakfast, so let's see if we can at least get this into a reasonable enough spot. Okay, so here are the puppers. Okay, so these actions are all at 0, so this is like rounding. Oh, that's weird. I figured that this would bind. Is it this? I thought that the operator precedence was this, isn't it? Huh? Am I crazy or something? Like, oh. Wait. I must be doing something very dumb here. What do I have actions defined as? Instar, that's why. Alright, now here we go. Now the puffers can go all over the place. Okay, so now we have puffers. Yeah, there you go. Now it should be that if they get like reasonably close, they will get the target. But anyways, I think that is pretty decent to start. Let's see real quick if we can get the binding to set up. We probably need to pass a whole bunch of args now, though, with height num agents num goals. Boom. Okay. So we have num_ems, num_agents, the width. All right, and this actually compiles. No config. Just have to add it. So this is going to be 512ems, agents, targets. This has got to be num targets. This is num goals. Backend serial to debug. We get a seg fault. And we can fix that. Bug. Actually, I want a couple minutes to do a few things before breakfast, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to come back, I'm going to fix training right after breakfast. We'll get this working, we'll clean up the file, we'll comment this, we'll like clean up and comment the other one, we'll write some tutorial docs, and then we'll pretty much have the like custom M side of Puffer set and ready to go. So for the folks watching, I'll be back in maybe 40 minutes, maybe a little less. If you're interested in all this stuff, it's all free and open source at puffer.ai. If you want to help me out for free, start the repo. If you want to get involved in dev, join the Discord. Be back in a bit.